Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Nik Nikam. Welcome to Triple N Talk Show, and we have a special guest today, and he is Sam Kannappan, and you are watching us on YouTube Live. You can also download our app, which is NNN Media for Android or Apple, and follow us 24 hours, 7 days a week. You can also watch us on Google Plus, and you can follow us on Facebook also. My special guest is Sam Kannappan. Sam, welcome to Triple N Talk Show. Sam Kannappan is an engineer, he's an author, he's a community leader, he's a member of the board of Texas Board of Engineers, he's a philanthropist and an Indian cultural ambassador. Sam, welcome to Triple N Talk Show. We're delighted to have you.
Thank you.
And let's start off by you giving us a little brief introduction as to, what part of India you come from and, a little bit about your early journey in the United States.
Right. I am from Nattarasankotai, southern Tamil Nadu, very close to Ramanathapuram, where Dr. Abdul Kalam is from, and very also close to Mr. Sundar Pichai, who has been announced as the CEO of Google.
Well, that is true. Of course, he's from Tamil Nadu also, and he also went to Indian Institute of Technology in Gorakhpur, I think.
That's correct.
Yeah. Then when did you come to United States?
I came to Austin, Texas on September 9th, 1968 for graduate course in mechanical engineering. And after I finished in Austin, I came to Houston.
Okay. Well, I should say, all my three kids went to UT Austin, Texas. I don't know if they really attended classes, but I know all my money went to Austin, Texas, University of Texas. So what was your specialty? Mechanical engineering? You said, okay.
My basic degree is BE Honors in mechanical engineering from Annamalai University.
I see,
Then I did my master's in systems engineering from University of Texas at Austin. Then I came into Houston and worked as a stationary engineer with the City of Houston license.
I see,
And I moved up to as the chief engineer of old shell building up on the building maintenance engineers level.
And
later I got into pipes analysis, became a piping engineer.
I see.
That's what Houston is.
I know, of course, Houston is the oil capital of the United States, I should say, and there's a lot of opportunities. What exactly were you doing with your piping job?
Okay. See, as you know, piping means it could be pipelines, refinery piping, chemical piping, nuclear power plant piping. So each type of piping governed by different piping codes.
I see,
Right. Now, as far as I am concerned, I wrote a book on Introduction to Pipes Analysis published by John Wiley & Sons, New York in 1985. And it's very well received. It is used as a textbook in 3 universities and all over the world for people to get started in pipes analysis. They use my book.
That's fascinating. Maybe you can give out your contact information for those who might be interested in getting in touch with you, because as we proceed, they will find out all your involvement with the community, with the engineering field, and also with your philanthropical works.
Well, of course, my real name is Sokolingam, but people had a hard time in pronunciation that name. So one day I said, yes, as in Sam. They said, why don't we call you Sam? I said, okay. So now they call me Sam Kannappan. And my phone number is 281-425-8743. My email ID is sam.kannappan, 2N and 2P, @gmail.com. And my website is www.samkannappan.com.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Triple N Talk Show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and our special guest is Sam Kannappan, who is an esteemed Indian cultural icon from Houston, and we're going to explore a lot more about his contribution to the Indian community here in Houston. Okay, let's talk about you're involved in the piping, which is like a hardware engineering and all this. How did you get involved with developing Tamil fonts, which is a software side of the engineering?
Right. When I was in UT, I had to drop a course because
Yeah.
I was not familiar with Fortran
Yeah.
4. At that time, it was Fortran 4.
Yeah.
Then I decided I want to learn the computer software language. And so I wrote a software engineering program
Yeah.
called EasyFlux
Yeah.
through mainframe computers. This is before PCs.
Yeah.
It was all mainframe computers. So I had a background in software.
Yeah.
And when the chief minister of Tamil Nadu
Yeah.
visited Houston on my invitation in
I see, yeah.
1978.
I see. Yeah.
So I received him, and he was very happy. I took him to Dr. Denton Cooley
Yeah.
and the mayor of Houston, Jim McCann. He was very happy.
Yeah.
And then in 1984,
Yeah.
when he had a kidney transplant in Downstate Medical Center in Brooklyn, New York, he lost his speech
I see.
faculty. So I decided to do the software for giving the speech
Yeah.
recognition for him. And my wife, Meena, and my son, Ramesh, worked on the audio speech
I
part.
see.
I worked on the font part. It
I
was
see.
very early in Tamil font.
Yeah.
Only English fonts were there at the time. This is like you take a graph sheet and kind of fill in each square
Yeah.
like the letter,
Yeah.
and then you describe where that square is, darker one. The
I see,
darker one
yeah.
makes the letter. And then with the axi sound numbers, you can connect the sound. So I took that to M.G. Ramachandran to Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and then to his home in Ramavaram Gardens in Chennai. He was very happy that I was trying to help him
Yeah.
to communicate with his doctors and the staff.
That is fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Triple N Talk Show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and my special guest is Sam Kannappan. He's an engineer by profession, and he's deeply involved with the Indian community here in Houston. Okay, let's talk about all these various awards you have received. I was looking at your resume. It looks like several pages long.
Well, because I've been in this country close to 40 years.
Yeah.
So I'll just say a few of them for the viewers. The first one is nuclear power plant design. As you know, people are very concerned about the safety. So engineers write what is called a non-conformance report.
I see.
Okay, that means something is not right.
I see. Yeah.
Okay, so then other engineers have to follow up, and I expedited the non-conformance reports
Yeah.
for Belafonte Nuclear Power Plant,
Yeah.
for Tennessee Valley Authority. So they gave me an award for that. And then the GE Astro, which is the satellites design
Yeah.
company in Princeton, New Jersey, I was doing fracture mechanics for GE. This is like there was a spring which is already
Yeah.
in government, US government satellite,
Yeah.
but we want to make sure that it has enough life
I
left
see.
for the launch and landing back.
I see. Yeah.
So I did work on it and decided, yes, it has enough life to make the journey. So for that, GE put me in what is called Tiger Team.
I see.
GE, if you become a Tiger Team in GE,
Yeah.
that's a very prestigious position. And they gave me an award for that.
Yeah.
And then Sangar Netralaya, of course, I
Yeah.
was given an award for friend of Sangar Netralaya. Then I worked for Goddard Space Flight Center
Yeah.
Greenbelt, Maryland. And here it's called laser tracking.
Yeah.
Laser has the very specific, peculiar thing that if you shoot a layer of laser from one location,
Yeah.
it will go back and reflect and come back to the same place. So I designed the optics. What it does is that laser travels
Yeah.
and comes back, then we can calculate the time it took and then the distance it traveled. The optics I designed improved the accuracy. It has some applications like movement of
Yeah.
tectonic plates in earthquake prone areas like California, where we have a lot of stations which move with the tectonic plate. But this laser tracking kind of puts the position of this particular location on a tectonic
Yeah.
plate. It is like a precursor, possibly for an earthquake prediction.
That's fascinating. How did you move from piping structure to nuclear power plants to space technology and all these different fields? Was it challenging?
Yes. See, 1983,
Yeah.
Houston had an oil burst.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of people laid off and
Yeah.
all that. So I decided, okay, I will look for a government,
Yeah.
U.S. government job. That's what the Tennessee Valley Authority is.
Yeah.
At that time, they were having number of nuclear power plant design. And because of the cost overrun,
Yeah.
after I joined TVA in Knoxville, Tennessee,
Yeah.
then they start canceling
Yeah.
nuclear power plant design. So then I decided, okay, I will move to space, which is the NASA,
Yeah.
that is in Greenbelt, Maryland.
Mhm.
And when I was working for NASA, when I was there in Greenbelt,
Yeah.
you know, the first space shuttle
Yeah.
disaster came. So it's one after another, three major problems happened. So I had to move, but I tried to do my best even in new areas.
All these disasters really worked to your advantage, I should say.
It kind of puts you in a challenging position to learn new things
Yeah.
and make good of that, whatever you are doing.
Yeah. Oh, talking about learning new things, what have been your most memorable moments or experiences in the past 4 decades?
Okay. See, I am a person who works with my heart,
Yeah.
may not necessarily with my mind or brain.
Yeah.
So I am very emotional and kind of sympathetic to other people's problems.
Yeah.
But I will just tell you very briefly 3 occasions. See, 1972,
Yeah.
I formed the Patients Hospitality Committee
Mhm.
under the University of Houston India Student Association.
Yeah.
This is to help the heart patients coming to St. Luke's and Methodist. And one boy from Sri Lanka died, and we always arrange for the cremation.
Yeah.
So his dad kind of wanted me to help him to put the new shoes on this boy's foot, because he said my son liked the new shoe, but he did not wear it. So that's like a touching
Yeah.
moment when a dad is losing his son and trying to
Yeah.
put the shoe on the body. That's one time. Another time is the same we talked about
Yeah.
M.G. Ramachandran. He is known for
Yeah.
giving things to people in a major way. So after I helped him, and he asked me what he can do for me, what do I want?
Mm.
Then I told him that I want his friendship,
Mm.
nothing else. He was kind of choked up, and
Yeah.
kind of the tears was coming in his eyes, because always people asked for things from him.
Yes.
Take because he was very rich or very influential. So some of these things is always I remember as my memorable events.
That's fascinating. And okay, what important lessons have you learned in this past 4 decades?
Yeah. See, I like to help people
Yeah,
whom I do not know without expecting things. That's always my
yeah,
main way of doing things. But in later years, I felt that I did not really focus on my family's welfare. I
I
have
see.
four
Yeah,
kids, and I did not spend a lot of time with them, which now I cannot get it back.
I know.
And also spending my resources for
Yeah,
their betterment, which I did not do. So the lesson I learned, and I would like to my friends also to see that you go ahead and decide the priority,
I
you
see.
know,
Yes.
and then follow that.
Yeah.
I think that'll be good for everyone.
I think that's absolutely true, especially in this country. You know, we are in this rat race. We're trying to keep two jobs and work long hours and all these things, and we don't realize until the time is past that whatever happened to our 2 decades when the children were growing up.
That's correct.
Absolutely. Okay, let's give out your contact information for those people who might be interested in getting in touch with you.
And my full name is Sokolingam Sam Kannappan. My phone number is 281-425-8743. My email is sam.kannappan@gmail.com. My website is www.samkannappan.com.
Sam, you've been a very successful businessman. You've been very successful with your leadership role in the community and also philanthropical work in inspiring people and all these things. Now, let's look into two different aspects. One is the business side. What characteristics have you found to be most useful for you in building your business career?
Right. See, most of your colleagues in a
Yeah,
southern state like Texas are very conservative
yeah,
and they don't accept you
yeah,
in the beginning. So, kind of, you have to work with them.
yeah,
And what I see mainly Indian friends is we talk in our own language. When Americans are around, they don't
yeah,
understand. And also, we talk very loud, especially on the
yeah,
phone.
yeah,
And when we get angry, we become emotional. And they see every day all these shortcomings. So I think the business surroundings, I think we need to kind of go with the flow, how other Americans are doing.
yeah,
And there are a lot of good habits they follow. So we can also use them so that you can come up in life. If you just see, they used to be calling glass ceiling and all that, but that's
yeah.
no longer true. If
That's
you look
yeah.
at the CEO of Pepsi or CEO of Google, or
Microsoft, Google,
Microsoft,
HLC. They put all of them together and call it Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. They have completed the whole phrase.
correct. So a lot of opportunities,
Yeah,
and also I have a concern that the respect and regard for Indian Americans in this country is not going to be lasting forever
yeah,
because everything is timed and things change. If there is a major problem comes between India and the United States, things can change.
yeah.
And so we need to make use of this opportunity and move up in profession and in business so that people would kind of accept us as we are.
That's fascinating. You're absolutely right. When I sit in the doctor's lounge and we're having lunch, a lot of our Desi friends, they start conversation in Desi languages, and it is pretty obvious because people who are sitting next to you can't follow you, and we are not even cognizant of the fact that that we are doing these things. And I think you bring up a very good point. I think we, especially in the business environment, we need to be with the mainstream business language, customs, and etiquette.
Correct.
Okay, let's talk about, you've been involved in various leadership roles. What characteristics have you found to be most useful for you in getting things done from other people?
Okay. See, 2001, January 27th,
Yeah,
the Millennium Republic Day function, and the Gujarati earthquake also hit the same day.
yeah,
And I kind of was the co-coordinator with the co-chairman with the Consul General of India. What I found out is that when you form the team,
yeah.
you need to give them the freedom
I see.
and appreciate the work they do.
Yeah,
And it adds up, and positive energy
yeah,
accumulates, and it becomes a big resource. Now, if a leader thinks, well, I'm going to dictate things to
yeah,
the team, and sooner or later they're going to give up.
yeah.
And they have to be passionate about the work you are doing, the task you are doing, and they need to feel the ownership.
I
And they
see.
need to be part of it, so that when the success comes, you share with the team, whole
I
team.
see. Yeah,
And that way they will help you to even make progress
yeah,
further. And that's what I think as leadership.
yeah.
And the leader should be ready to do any task which he wants the team members to do.
That's right. Yeah,
It's nothing like I won't do that, it's below my dignity, I won't do it, but you need to do it. Not like that attitude.
yeah,
So if they feel that you are taking care of them, even few kind words,
yeah.
they are so happy and they will work with you.
See, sometimes I answer my phone in the office during lunchtime or something when the secretaries are gone for lunch. I said, who is this? I said, this is Dr. Nikam. How come you're answering your phone? He said, well, I'm the sanitary engineer. I'm the CEO of the company. So who do you want to talk to?
Yeah. See, this is like dignity of labor.
Yeah,
We should not feel some task is at a lower level. It's not
yeah,
true, because you never know
yeah.
which task is going to really help you.
That's right. One of my comedian friend used to say that a leader is the biggest servant of all.
That's correct.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Triple N Talk Show. I am Dr. Nik Nikam, and my special guest is Sam Kannappan, an engineer, a great community leader, a philanthropist, an author, a writer, and also a great supporter of the Indian culture, heritage, and all these things. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, let's talk about you are one of the board members of the Texas Board of Engineers. How did this come about?
Okay. See, the Texas Board of Professional Engineers
Yeah,
is a government body, and the governor appoints
I see.
the
Yeah,
9 board members.
yeah,
And I'm appointed through 2017
I see.
because of my past association with the governor, and I have been working on different
I see.
projects like Katrina, Ike, things like that. So, with my engineering background, I was
Yeah.
appointed to this board. I am the chairman of the enforcement committee, and also I'm a member of the licensing committee.
Yeah,
And Texas, because of large state, we have 57,000 active licensed engineers in state of Texas.
I see.
Some of them are out of state, some of them are out of the country. So the board monitors them
Yeah,
and renews their license if there is no problem with their
yeah,
background. And is essentially is a monitoring and licensing board.
yeah.
I also got elected and served as the secretary treasurer for the national PE board
I see.
southern zone.
Yeah,
That was by election.
Yeah.
And I'm part of the national
Yeah.
organization.
That's fascinating. And how much of your time is involved with the Texas Board of Professional Engineers?
Every quarter, I go to Austin for 2 days,
I see. Yeah.
and then whenever the committee meeting, like license committee, enforcement
Yeah.
committee, I go to Austin for 1 day. But now these days, essentially, most of the things are done by email,
I see. Yeah.
so you don't have to physically go to Austin,
Yeah.
but you can attend to the same confidential memos and decisions by email. It is all secured. So I would say it's like maybe 2 days every 3 months.
I see.
That's
Yeah.
the time I physically spend in Austin.
Oh, okay. Okay. Again, let's give out your contact information, and then we'll talk about your philanthropical contribution to the Indian community and to Houston.
My name is Sokalingam Sam Kannappan. My phone number is 281-425-8743. My email ID is sam.kannappan@gmail.com, and my website is www.samkannappan.com.
Okay, Sam, you told me you have 4 children. So let's talk about what are your thoughts on the new generation Indians embracing our culture, heritage, and traditions?
Okay. See, since we have already lived in Western
Yeah.
civilization for 40 years, and we born and grew up
Yeah.
for 20 years plus in India, so we understand both cultures and tradition. What I see is the Eastern culture civilization as a very ancient,
Yeah.
very rich, and it has been tested time
Yes.
and again for a long time. So I and our kids need to kind of respect the traditions,
Yeah.
culture, and follow it. On the other hand, the West has been working very hard and dignity of labor
Yes.
and communication, hard work. So we need to combine both the bedrock foundation of Indian culture and traditions, and then build up with the hard work of
Yeah.
West, so that we will be a complete person with both helping us, both cultures helping us.
I think that's one of the advantages the new generation youths have, and sometimes it's hard to get them to understand that they are complementary to each other. It's not like it's exclusive, because like you said, the rich cultural heritage that gives us so much mental peace and tranquility and all these things. At the same time, technology, of course, you're an engineer and I'm a doctor. We are involved with the highest technology. In fact, this YouTube live broadcast is through the highest technology available, thanks to Google and YouTube for giving us all this opportunity. And that's where we bring all these things together. I think that's when, as you said, we become a complete human being.
Yeah, I have been working with some high school
Yeah.
counselors, and at least one lady told me
Yeah.
that the Indian parents possibly expect too much from the children
Yeah.
and put pressure on the children,
Yeah.
put pressure on the children to be a great student and
Yeah.
go to Ivy League schools, go to medical school, that kind of pressure. But I think the parents have to back off and help the child to do whatever the child wants. And in time, the child would understand
Yeah.
the Eastern traditions and the benefits of Western
Yeah.
hard work. They will figure out, because if you look at Indian children, they are doing phenomenally well
That is true. Yes.
in all the disciplines. So they are doing well, but we should not put unnecessary pressure on them.
You're absolutely right, because I was talking to my friend psychiatrist Ashok Jain, and in fact, we're going to talk about a topic called performance pressure, which is particularly felt by the Desi young children, because he has seen so many people who have become like sort of paying price for being, expected too much from the
Yeah,
peers, from the parents, and everybody else.
yeah. They already have enough difficulties
Yeah.
because at home we follow different tradition,
Yeah.
religion, and at the school it's completely different.
Yes.
They already have to go through this transition.
Yeah.
So we need to help them, not put pressure on them.
Yeah. Okay, let's change gears. And what advice do you have for the young generation people who are coming?
Yeah. You see, if you look at your grandparents or your parents, they come from a very rich,
Yeah.
ancient civilization.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things in their gene and in their habits,
Yeah.
and try to understand to the extent you can and follow them. And also, your peers and colleagues, get along with them
Yeah.
and make progress in your job and profession, and you will be very successful. Because, see, first you have to understand yourself. Who am I?
Yeah.
Like what Ramana Maharshi said, that you have to look inwards,
Yeah.
not by external appearances.
Yeah.
And then you have to always think positive, help, so that the world will become a better place to live
Yeah.
for everybody, like Aravindo said. So these some of these things which you can kind of understand and follow. You will have I'm talking about children, you will have a great future.
And in fact, Sundar Pichai, who is from Tamil Nadu, who is the new CEO of Google, said a lot of his success was based on the sacrifices made by his parents' generation.
Correct.
And I think that's what our children also need to understand, all the sacrifices that we as parents have done.
Yeah, his father was an electrical engineer.
Yeah.
He worked for GE in Chennai,
Yeah.
GE manufacturing, and obviously he has really helped. Sundar. His
Yeah.
name is Sundar Rajan, but
That's
we call it Sundar
Yes.
Pichai. And they lived in Chennai. They lived in a small 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
But you can see now at what level he is. And definitely his parents,
Yeah.
in fact, his grandparents or whatever, would have helped him
That's
to
yes.
get a strong foundation.
Absolutely. Okay, let's change gears and let's talk about your philanthropical involvement in the community. And you've been one of the founding members of the Sri Meenakshi Temple in Pearland, Texas. Tell us about your involvement and what things have evolved over the past 3 decades since its inception.
Okay. See, when I came, 1968, that's a time when the ISKCON or the Hare Krishna
Yeah.
movement was started in Central Park, New York.
Yeah.
And then the talk about 1975 when the New York Temple, Pittsburgh Temple are all built.
Yeah.
So Houston Meenakshi Temple was the third traditional temple. When we say traditional temple, it is like
Yeah.
the South Indian architecture.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, so that's what I mean by that. And so we were looking for 5 different properties in Houston and decided to select the Pearland property because it was wide open, a lot of land available at a lower price,
Yeah.
and also no neighbors to bother you. Our experience with the New York Temple was
Yeah.
people parking and then the neighbors
Yeah.
complaining. So we decided it's better to go out.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what happened was Pearland was a very conservative community then.
Yeah.
Now you have a lot of medical professionals, but
Yeah.
in 1960s, it's purely very conservative local
Yes.
Texas people. And they had a very suspicious notion that our temple is going to go back and convert
Oh, I see.
their American children. So myself and a contractor called Robert Hunt,
Yeah.
an American. So we both went house by house and
Yeah.
trailer by trailer and kind of explained to them we don't convert people.
Yeah.
We are here to pray.
Yeah.
And at least one gentleman said that if you are going to be building a temple, you should be a good person. So go ahead.
Yeah.
So I still remember that person's face. And essentially, I bought
Yeah.
5 acres of land in 1978.
Yeah.
Now, as you all know, it's become a very remarkable
Yes.
institution. And also, I got from my father the election system for the temples. He was the honorary secretary for the Varanasi Chatram. So he instituted electing people,
I see.
which was not done in Indian temples.
I see. Yeah.
But from him,
Yeah.
I decided that is a better way to go. So Meenakshi Temple elects the whole board
Yeah.
every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So new people come in so that the younger generation who look at the temple
Yeah.
management structure, they can say, okay, I can also be there, move up.
Yeah.
So this is like opportunity for a lot of people. And we are successful. We hope when we are all gone, the institution will stay
Yes.
for a long time to come for people to get the benefit.
Definitely, definitely. In fact, we had Vedagunathan on our program a few months ago. Okay, let's talk about your involvement with the Shankara Netralaya. That's the Eye Foundation.
Right. Dr. S. Badrinath
Yeah.
is a very noble soul. He was doing his ophthalmology residency in New York in 60s and went back. And at the request of Kanji Sangracharya, he decided to start this ophthalmologic
Eye clinic.
eye clinic,
Yeah.
which does close to about 40% of the patients free of cost
Yeah.
and 60% paid. And same standard for
I see both.
pay or not. So from America, we
Yeah.
help to pay for these free
I see,
operations.
Mhm.
And they also have vans and they take
Yeah.
to rural places in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh.
Yeah.
And they can, through satellite, just like what
Yeah.
you're doing now, through satellite, they beam the eye
I see.
image
Yeah.
to Chennai. And the doctors in Chennai give
Yeah.
advice and then bring the patient if necessary to Chennai. We have also already built Sanganetralaya Hospital in Calcutta,
Yeah.
and that's already full. So we are building a second
Yeah.
eye hospital in Calcutta, West Bengal. We also have in other states like Karnataka, Maharashtra, installations.
Yeah.
And this is not just an eye hospital.
Yeah.
It's also a research institution
That's true.
and
Yeah.
a school of optometry and a very successful institution.
A lot of training, research, and all these things involved in this.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm a trustee. I
Yeah.
used to serve as a vice chairman for the SN Om Trust,
Yeah.
Ophthalmology Mission Trust. And I'm very happy I got an opportunity to be with Dr.
Yeah.
Badrinath.
That's fascinating because I was also involved with the Shankara Eye Foundation, which is
Yes.
a parallel program, all over India. And I was fascinated to look at some of their statistics, and it costs only about $60 to provide vision to somebody, who's got a cataract or something like that. And I said, what a blessing if we can get vision for somebody for $60.
Right. See, person like us settled in United States,
Yeah.
by us donating $60, actually Sanganetralaya is $65.
Yeah.
Then you take care of a person's eye,
Yeah.
which the person would not get it
That's
otherwise.
absolutely. Okay, Sam, we got a couple of more minutes. So let's talk about, do you have any hobbies?
No, I only do the social service. I look
Yeah,
for what I can do for others. I
yeah.
really do not have any active hobbies.
What about what are your future plans?
Okay. See, I am very much want to learn
Yeah,
new things and higher order things, advanced things, and explain to people in simple language,
that's
so
fascinating. Yeah,
that so that they can understand what I am saying in
yeah,
simple language. But I am reading and understanding the higher order things, and I also want to write
yeah.
so that in the future people will read what I write today.
That's fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Triple N Talk Show. I'm Dr. Nik Nikam, and our special guest is Sam Kannappan, who is an engineer by profession. He's an author, writer, community leader, and he's one of the members of the Texas Board of Professional Engineers, a philanthropist, and a community leader. Okay, let's talk about what legacy you want to leave behind.
Well, I would like people to remember me as a person from a rural background, from a small village
Yeah,
in India, has come to the West in 60s
yeah,
and made progress and is successful, so that people with any background, whether you are
yes,
rich or poor, smart or dumb, doesn't matter. If I can do it, you all can do it. So be confident. Every um, problem is a learning
yeah,
episode. So there is nothing called, Abdul Kalam said, there is no failure. Okay.
yeah,
All you have to do is kind of learn from that failure if you are not
yeah.
successful, and then try again. You will be successful. So I would like to be remembered as a person who, regardless of my simple background, was able to make it in Houston, Texas.
Absolutely. Sam, in fact, that Abdul Kalam defined fail as the first attempt in learning, which is very, very true. Because if you look at, all these Alexander Graham Bell and Einstein, they all had to fail 10,000 times before they could really discover what we use, take it for granted everything today. Sam, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and maybe we'll meet again. Thank
Thank
you
you for
very
your
much for being
time,
on our
Dr.
program.
Nikam. You are doing a great service. I
Thank you.
think you will go a long way helping our people.
Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much.
It's my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be back next Wednesday between 6 and 7 p.m. I'm Dr. Nik Nikam, and you have been watching Triple N Talk Show. Thank you.